Hello everyone, it's your boy Gil here, and the video you're about to watch has been taken live from my Twitch stream. I just edited the video for clarity and brevity purposes. There's one major thing I want to get out of the way. This video is not made to downplay Feng. He's good. He's good. And that's why you're probably here, because you're struggling with some of his evasive shenanigans. Another thing I want to get out of the way is, as you probably already know since you played Tekken, Tekken is a complicated game. There's no one-size-fits-all solution for all of his shenanigans. But this video will do a good job of teaching you how to deal with many of his evasive options and teach you how to counter them most effectively. Of course, you'll still have to use your noggin, see what options your specific character has, but it should be very useful for you. I'm also editing a video on Feng's most common offensive options, offensive flowcharts, so be on the lookout for that. Besides that, I also want to say there will be timestamps for this video. You might need to spend 2 or 3 sessions watching the video because it's pretty information dense. But either way, thank you so very much. Enjoy the rest of the video. Consider liking, subscribing, and if you have any questions or something, just put them in the comment below. I would love to answer them, and I'm sure there's some other people that can help with answering them. Alrighty, thank you very much. So that's kind of like the basic thing with Feng. Feng wants to annoy you with small pokes. And then because you're getting annoyed, you're going to start pressing buttons. And when you start pressing buttons, Feng's turn stealing evasive moves are going to start to be very effective. So you might think, just don't press buttons. That's true. You know, be patient against Feng. Feng is a character you want to be patient against. You want to be patient against. But of course, this is Tekken. The game flow changes so fast. Player tendencies change so fast if you have 2 smart players. And if you're watching this video, or watching this live, you are a smart player. But if Feng notices you're not, like, pressing buttons on him, that you're scared, then Feng will go in and start applying mix-ups, applying plus frames, and that sort of stuff. So it's a very... There's no there's no one thing to do against Feng in general. But right now, we are a player that's not pressing buttons right now. So I think this is a good time to, like, go into Feng's evasive options. Feng's evasive / turn stealing options. We're going to get into Kenpo as well, chat. For those of you guys that have been patient and waiting for Kenpo. Back one. Or people call these evasive turn stealing moves. They also call them panic moves. Just like while someone is getting pressured, they can do them and get out of pressure. Back one is one of them. Up forward 2 is one of them. Up forward 2, safe on block. -9, I believe, -10. Like, only, like, Gigas can punish that from, like, point, you know, punish that. But usually it's safe. So we have back 1, fast counter launcher. Evasive ribcage poke. Feng takes a huge step to his left. Remember, he never goes the other way. It's always just to Feng's left. He has that. He has Backswing Blow. Teleports away. Dragon Ball Z. Teleport sound. And then he comes back in. And then he has Sabaki parry. Only punch parry. And then, of course, another one that he can do. Kenpo. Kenpo's kind of the most complex, because it's also the least committal. So we'll leave Kenpo for last. The most complex and least committal, but it's a big backdash. That's what Kenpo is. It's a big backdash. Then he can do some follow-ups out of that only come out of Kenpo, but he doesn't have to, of course. So, let's see. let's record. We're gonna do up 4-2 first. I think up 4-2 is the easiest to kind of like wrap our minds around. So I blocked this. Fengs -7. I'm like, okay. Okay, I'm gonna fucking do shit to Feng, so it's my turn, right? It's my turn. Feng's -7. It blocked a chunky mid. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do boom. What the fuck happened? I'm pissed now. I'm gonna write on Twitter. It was -7, and I just do 1-2. Oh shit. As you can see, up 4-2 is not infallible. Because up 4-2 takes a little bit. It takes a little bit to like make the motion, to make the movement where it starts stepping. But let's just say I'm gonna go for a down forward 1. Jesus, what the fuck? Ah, there we go. Weird. Huh. Why am I sometimes hitting him and sometimes I'm not? Literally the same situation. Like I'm mashing down forward 1, so I'm getting it out as fast as possible. Yes, Tekken 7, sometimes like the angle is slightly different, yeah. What the fuck? There we go. Just want to pick something that consistently gets avoided. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're figuring this out. So, let's just say Feng does, while standing 2, he's -7 on block, and then he does up forward to the evasive ribcage poke. I'm like, okay, haha, it's my turn. I'm gonna do my... Before he starts to evade, I don't know the exact number. I think at least like 6 frames or so, because if you look at this, I'm just pressing 1. Let's see. I'm just pressing 1, I counter hit him. A jab. He doesn't get to evade. Every time I just do a jab. And then when I do down forward 1, it's weird. Sometimes he evades it. Sometimes he doesn't. Let me do shoulder, which of course, you know, it's a dumb idea, but shoulder's 13 frames. Of course, every move has different tracking. So, the reason I wanted to use down forward 1 is because down forward 1 has... The way you step it is to the left, and up forward 2 goes to the left. But it looks like... In this frame situation, I don't want to get hung up on frames, because, you know, there's so many different situations in the game. In this frame situation, the enemy Feng is -7 on block. I do a 14 frame move that is linear, but a lot of the time the 14 frame move will still hit them. So probably try to catch him with something that's faster than 14 frames. Like 14 frames max. You know? So... But then also... What's Feng doing here? Just to continue, what's Feng doing here? He's taking a big step to the left. It's an 18 frame startup move. How about we just hit him with a homing move? How about that? Let's just hit him with a homing move. Boom. Slow homing move. 23 frames? What the fuck's he gonna do about it? That's a simple way to deal with up forward 2. Just hit him with a homing move. Boom. There's nothing he can do. Feng in particular has back 4, which is a fast mid that tracks both ways, but just, you know, universally just hit him with a homing move. Boom, he's done for. Also, again, patience. Don't do anything. Just backdash. Boom, I backdashed. This dumb Feng. All Feng players play the same. Boom. You eat him up. Boom. You just backdash him. And then this move that so many people find obnoxious. It's so risky, man. Here's another option. Instead of just backdashing, let me sidestep. Look at this. Let me just sidestep it. It's a big read on Feng's part. Sidestep left. You know, it's a big read on Feng's part. So what does up forward 2 beat? Linear moves that are slow. You know, like right now I'm gonna do my headbutt. He beats me every time. Headbutt's linear. Let's see, I'm gonna do down forward 4. Down forward 4 tracks to that side, so it's not a great example. But that's another example for like how to beat up forward 2. Use homing moves. Use moves that track that way. Just chill. You don't always have to press a button in Tekken. Just hold back, man. Just hold back. Boom. He's minus 10 now. He's minus 10. He's all the way away from you. Just backdash. You know. The risk and reward. The risk and reward of up forward 2 is very poor. There's a lot of things that can happen against up forward 2 that will just like murder it. So that's up forward 2. Go for something fast. It will probably beat it because it takes a while for him to step. Or if you want to be sure, go for a homing move. Or just sidestep left or block. So many options will beat it. This is Backswing Blow. He teleports. See, I just do a jab here. But he teleports so fast. First of all, patience. We keep going back to patience. Let's see. Just block. This idiot's minus 15. Feng can't launch that because Feng's hop kick doesn't have a lot of range, but you know. Minus 15. Whatever character you play. Boom. Just hit him. Just hit him with your best 15 frame punish that has decent range. Because if you're pressing... Okay, we're gonna talk about that. If you're pressing, you're like, wow, this guy's minus, we're gonna be pressing. Again. Feng fiends upon you if you like to press. Boom. Or let me go for a string. Let me go for something slow. He'll counter hit you for a lot of damage. For those that don't know, speaking of Backswing Blow, he gets a lot of damage off of it. Not a launcher, technically, except if you're bears, but that's... How much damage? 75 damage. Kinda sorta guaranteed. The part of the kinda sorta is the final stomp, depending on the distance. People can avoid it. But at the very least, this is guaranteed. 58 damage. So, have patience against Feng. Just block this, man. Just chill. Or again, patience. Move around it. I believe you can sidestep it as well. It's just kind of like has this like... It's a 25 frame move. So you don't want to step it too early. But yeah, just step it. Or step block. Look at that. Step block. That's my main recommendation for dealing with Feng's evasive moves. It's just be okay with being patient. Right now, we notice that sidestep left beats both of these moves. Sidestep left block. And launch both of these moves. Boom. You just hold back, you know, you don't get a lot of reward. Depending on who you are, but you're also not taking any risk. Let's go to his next. Let's go to Feng's next evasive turn stealing option. People's favorite, his Sabaki parry. There we go. His Sabaki parry. I'm gonna press against him. Oh no. He kills me. I'm gonna go on Twitter. I'm gonna go on Twitter. He killed me. So, again, super basic. We don't have to do anything fancy. Block. It's minus 12. Let's see how... What if we can step it? And step it to the right. If you step it to the left, it looks like it will track, but again, sidestep. Sidestep block. Sidestep block beats both of these moves. I don't want to make it seem like this is trash, because as I said, if you were paying attention earlier, this is the mind games of the match. If you're going to be defending sidestep stand block, and Feng notices that, he won't go for the evasive moves. He's going to put on the pressure on you, he's going to do other things instead. But these are just the specific answers to these 3 different evasive moves. All have the same answer. Sidestep left block. 3 different evasive moves. We talked about up forward 2, Sabaki. Sabaki. Is it Kenpo time, chat? One. Oh yeah. No, we're not done with Sabaki yet. It only parries punches. Only parries punches. Headbutts, you fuck them up. And it only Sabaki's. It only parries between frames 2 and 9. So if you go for something slow, boom, there's a slow option. It was a slow punch, but it beats it. Also, like going for a slow homing option, it beats his backswing blow, by the way. And remember, like, far-ranging homing options for when we talk about Kenpo. Boom. Does that homing move? That homing move also beats up forward too, so you have so many different options to fuck up so much of his turn stealing stuff, man. But of course, against his Sabaki, let's see, he can't Sabaki kick, so if you so choose to press a button, like it doesn't block, it doesn't do anything against kicks. You know, you have a magic 4, use that shit, man. So, let's talk about Feng's back one. Let's see. Feng's back one. You guys know this move, right? Let me key charge. Back one. It's a commonly used Feng move. I think it's the best 10 frame counter hit moves in the game. Because on trade, Feng still gets shoulder. Let's see. Other 10 frame counter hit moves, you know, like it's part of a string. And, you know, if you get counter hit, you don't get the string. So, there we go. We traded it. I still get 46 damage. So, the power of back one. The power of back one is that it's fast. 10 frames. There's very few moves that are... Steve's back one is 13 frames. But it launches. It launches. But Steve's back one is 13 frames, also a high. So what's good about back one? It's fast. On hit, it doesn't do much. The damage is pretty solid, like 17 damage, you know, like you don't want to take 17 damage, but it's only +1. No pressure. Obviously, back one is good for its counter hit properties. It's good because it's fast. If you're trying to pressure Feng, you feel a bit shaky about pressuring Feng because you're like, shit, if I go for anything that's not like frame perfect frame trap, anywhere where he can put in a back one in between, which since back one is just 10 frames, Feng can put in a back one between a lot of things. It's very good. And of course on counter hit, as we just talked about, he gets 46 damage. 49 if he has rage. 50 if he has rage, because the back one deals a bit more damage too, of course, in rage. But whatever, he gets a good chunk. Remember, back one is -10 on block. If you block Feng's back one, and it's a high. Basic things against Feng's back one is just block. You get a 10 frame punish. Or if you want to take a big read, duck it and launch it. You know. Common ways for Feng to set up back ones are down forward 1. Down forward 1 is a unique, relatively unique... No, it is a unique down forward 1 in the game. It's 0 on block. And on counter hit, it has this effect where it knocks them on their ass for major frame advantage. Another way to set up, we're just talking about back one right now. Another way to set up, because this is 0 on block, that's why, you know, in this situation, Feng loves being 0. Feng loves being like -2, -1, you know, like, because people have to fear back one, dude. It's a lot of mental pressure to, like, think about back one. And then another thing that Feng can set up back one with pretty easily is down 4. Down 4 is just this little low. It's nice primarily because it's 0 on hit, which doesn't sound crazy, but of course in tandem with Feng's back one, 0 on hit is very, very scary. And then it leaves Feng point blank. Point blank, you know, situation can be scary, but no one's technically at an advantage or disadvantage after this. So on block, down forward 1, 0. On hit, down 4, 0. After those moves, it's pretty reasonable to expect Feng's back one. Another back one setup move is, we talked about this, while standing 1. While standing 1 is one of Feng's best moves because it's a half screen. It's a half screen down forward 1. While standing 1 is -1 on block. So, you know, you can just... The only thing you can interrupt him with is... whatchamacallit, is a jab. Of course, you can go for high crushes as well, but we talk about that later. So, there isn't a whole lot to talk about with back one that's not just obvious, you know. Let me show you, I believe it's linear as well. Sidestep right, beats it. So, dealing with back one, just backdash and block, you know. Sometimes you're far enough away where he whiffs it. So, just backdash. Just backdash. Sidestep you can do. Punish. If you want to press, you can go for if you want to press, you can go for high crushing moves. You know, whatever your character's high crushes are. But, you know. Yeah, let's talk about Kenpo. Let's do the same thing. Let's talk about some brief Kenpo essentials. Kenpo, big step backwards. Big step backwards. Off of Kenpo, he has a couple follow-ups. He has Kenpo 4. He just throws this whole Fengs at you for a good chunk of damage, goes over lows. Don't see it that often. Kenpo 3 you see sometimes. This is for big whiffs. If Feng creates a big whiff, he'll launch you. You see Kenpo 1, that's his low. Sometimes Feng players go for like punishes with this, but it's mainly kind of like a mix-up if your opponent's kind of like nervous. For punishes, if Feng creates a whiff, the punishes he'll go for is Kenpo 2. Very common. Kenpo 2 is 14 frames, very fast. Basically any whiff, but it is a high. Basically any whiff that doesn't recover and crouch, he'll do that. But like, I'm not sure how much damage, like 47 damage or something. Or if it's a big whiff, he does Kenpo 3, but that's 22 frame startup. So you see it a bit less often, but if it's a big whiff, he does that. Other fact about Kenpo, if he's in it, that's it. You know, he can't cancel Kenpo prematurely. Let's see. Kenpo takes a big step backwards. Some people have been misinformed that Kenpo has auto block on it all the way through. It doesn't have any auto block. It's just like after 19, so after 19 frames, Feng can block. So on the 20th frame, he can block. Not before. So, obvious counterplay to Kenpo. Let's go for far-ranging moves. But that opens up the opportunity, like far-ranging moves usually are slower. If they're slower, Feng can maybe like start, you can block it, you know. Chase down Kenpo. Let's see. I want to talk about lows as well against Kenpo. Chasing Kenpo with lows is pretty good too, but I believe that 19 frame blocking is also just like, you can block lows after 19 frames. Let me just double check real quick. Can you show before 19 frames? Yeah, sure. So we'll just do this setup again. Again, against Kenpo, chat, if Feng's in the open, doing Kenpo, you know, just think of it as just like a special backdash. You know, just like against any opponent, you know, like be careful with buttons you're throwing out a neutral because they can just backdash it and punish you for it. You know, right now, let's just think about like, so against that with Feng, just be sure you catch on to his timings, don't overcommit. But let's talk about Kenpo up close. So we had all of those other options that I showed you here, how you can beat those other evasive options. Usually you see Kenpo when Feng is, you know, if you see it point blank, you, and I'm going to get into your question, Nicelium. I will get into your question. You see it when he's negative, you know, so let's see. We'll just do the same exact move, just so it's, you have comparison for everything while setting 2, you know. Feng loves being negative, kind of, sort of, because he can do a lot of things. So while setting 2, same move you've been looking at before, but can be anything. You know, he can be negative for any reason. He can have while standing 4 blocked, or you just punished Feng, and that's why Feng is minus, you know. So -7 is a pretty significant frame disadvantage. Right here, he's -7. Takes 19 frames to block. I just gotta be fair here. The AI doesn't block. Even if you recorded yourself, the AI doesn't immediately block for some reason because it's a stance. So, shit. Okay. So I have to record the AI here hitting me with while standing 2. It's the same situation. Okay. There we go. Check this out. This will make sense. So he hits me while standing 2. I'm -7. I try to Kenpo out of it. He chases me down with a far-ranging high forward 1+2, which is 19 frame startup. So because I'm -7, it takes a while for Kenpo to actually come out. So I should, you know, -7, 7 plus 19. We're getting into frame data here. I want to like not get too hung up in frame data. But here, a far-ranging move will just eat up Kenpo. It just eats it up. I'm holding back. You can see I'm holding back. Let's do another medium range move. Let's see, down forward 4. Feng, just a basic mid poke with Feng. There we go. Pressing Kenpo here. I can't get out. It's too fast. Goes too far away. Here's a situation where Kenpo will like block it. Let's just do this. Let's do down forward 1. Forward 3-4. Forward 3-4 is 21 frame startup. I can block forward 3-4. So there you go. If you feel like Feng's gonna do something with Kenpo, go for a move that's... It doesn't even have to be super fast, like faster than 19 frames, but honestly, as I said, if Feng's doing it out of negative, if Feng's negative, you can go for an even slower move, and it will beat Kenpo. If that makes sense. You know, if both characters are at neutral, it takes 19 frames for him to start blocking. Which is this example here. Down forward 1 is neutral and block. There we go. There's more I want to say. That's just the beginning of Kenpo. This is just the beginning of Kenpo. Let's see. I want to see about lows. Yeah, okay. Lows, yeah, I was right about this. Feng can't block low immediately. Check this. So if you have a low that chases down... If you have lows that chase down... Check this, I'm holding Kenpo, and then I do Kenpo, and then I do down back. I can't block this low. So only after 19 frames can Feng block mids and highs, standing blocks. But lows takes even longer. This is a 22 frame low. I'm not sure how long it takes, but it's a 22 frame low. And I can't block that. So, if you sniff out a Kenpo, go for a long-ranging mid or high. If it's 19 frames or faster, beautiful. But even if it's a bit slower, that's probably fine, because Feng will probably Kenpo when he's negative. Probably. You know, we're just talking about, like, close range game. Because as I said, you know, at range 4, it's just like, you guys are both playing neutral, and, you know, if you read that Feng, you know, if you read that Feng's just kind of like spamming Kenpo and neutral, you know. You know, just slap him with something big, but of course. You know, so we're not talking about like range 4. Range 4 is just like... It's too complex, I guess. Range 4, there's just like both players have too many options, but just treat it as just like an uber backdash, so be wary about like approaching Feng from this distance, you know, just be wary about that. It's you know, I'm not downplaying Feng. I'm showing you guys like how to beat certain things about Feng, but he's a strong character, and Kenpo at this range is very hard to deal with. It just is. But with Feng, like, trying to steal turns up close. Let's see, we do this. Down forward 1. Into chunky mid. Chunky slow mid. This is the power of Kenpo. It's just a huge backdash. That's the basic way to think about Kenpo. It's just a huge backdash. Its con is that its pro is that it's a huge backdash that doesn't need execution. You know, you don't need to do Korean backdash or anything. Its con is that Feng is stuck in that animation for quite a while. It makes up for it for like a big step. But yeah. Can even do Kenpo 3, which is 23 frames slow. But most of the time, whiffs aren't that slow, that big. So usually you see Feng do Kenpo 2. So yeah, if you... Is this Feng's cheap part 2? Yeah, and 3s and 4. And the X-rated version 2, which came out between parts 3 and 4. So, those are the facts with Kenpo. It takes 19 frames for him to be able to block standing. It takes him even longer for him to be able to block low. Let's say you're a Mishima and you just smell Feng's gonna do Kenpo. Just waifu 2 or 3 times in his face and throw out a hell sweep. You know, he can't block the hell sweep. He can't low parry the hell sweep. this low crushes, but it's so slow and only comes out after, you know, the whole Kenpo animation, so I say go for long-ranging moves. Preferably faster than 19. To keep him in check, you know. Someone earlier said this. Let's see. Something about Brian. We'll go away from Feng v Feng. Let me double check this before I start spreading rumors, because that's how we got into this shitty situation to begin with. Brian's back one. Brian back one. There we go. So, let's say Brian, he just does jab, back one. Right here. It's slow, but it chases Kenpo all the way down. You might not be punishing Feng. You might not be punishing him, but you're +5 in his face. Or Feng's dumb and isn't confirming a whiff. You know, he's just doing Kenpo and pressing the button, it gets counter hit launched. But if Feng just blocks, you're +5 in Feng's face, you know? So that's kind of like the big thing against Feng, man. Just like, be okay with being patient, and that's why you have so much like vitriol about Feng, because yeah, against 80% of the characters, your offensive flowcharts will probably work. They'll probably work fine, you know? It's like, guess this whack-ass mix-up, white boy. But Feng just gets to steal turns with particular tools. So you just need to demonstrate patience against Feng. And just know your options. And then use those options. With all of those evasive moves I showed you guys, you know, like, most of those evasive moves got fucked up with a sidestep low block. Sidestep stand block, most of those. Here also, you know, if Feng just Kenpos, man, and you don't press anything, holy shit, that's fine. It's fine. You have 60 seconds on the clock. You don't have to win the game in 10 seconds. It's fine. You don't have to always be pressing buttons, man. But, you know, like, Brian just does jab, and Feng does Kenpo. You know? What's the issue? Feng just moved away. No one really got fucked up here. But let's see, what's hatchet kick? There we go. Just does jab into hatchet kick. I can't low block. I'm holding down back. You know. So, Kenpo. Just do far-ranging moves. If it's a mid or a high, preferably under 19, but it doesn't necessarily have to be under 19. Or go for a chunky forward-moving low, and you'll catch Kenpo. Like, I'm holding down back. I'm pressing my low crushing option, but I don't have enough frames to low crush it, so I just get counter hits. You know? So, again, I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. You know? I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. Feng's a good character, but all of these evasive options have answered. That's when Feng will start challenging. Yeah, I was just talking about that, Hugh. That's Tekken. Nothing in this game is guaranteed, you know? And that's kind of the ebb and flow of fighting Feng, is being patient, defending against his evasive turn-stealing bullshit. And if you, like, defend against his turn-stealing bullshit, most of the time you'll launch him, you know? But if Feng notices that you're very much, like, waiting for him to do turn-stealing stuff, then, you know, he's gonna flip the script. He's like, okay, they respect me, so I'm gonna go on the offense. Exactly. Yeah. But all of these evasive options, we went through them earlier, have big answers. And many defensive, like I said, like sidestep left block, it beats like 4 options big time, you know? Just one defensive option beats 4 of Feng's panic buttons, you know? Presented Tekken as this simple game where defending against characters is so like one size fits all. You can see with those like sidestep charts, you know, you have that sidestep chart that goes around Reddit from time to time. What way do you sidestep characters? Which is total bullshit, because every character has moves that track either to the left or to the right. Every character does, you know, and that's just defending in Tekken. Nothing is one size fits all. But hopefully with this, you just know the answers to particular tools. And then it's up to you to use them against a particular player, you know? Like, what evasive moves do they use? What flowcharts do they use? What's their timings, etc., etc. You know? What's up, Master Spreader?